Dr. Tombing, you saw how the situation is unfolding. There have been incident of violence. 3 deaths have been reported since yesterday. Is peace anywhere on the anvil?
Thank you for the invitation. The Manipur issue is very lopsided one. And in fact, whatever the narratives which have been created since May 3, there has been a shift of narratives from time to time. And now we are seeing a situation where there is that united collective wage on a community, and then the issue that are related therewith has gone a sea change. And in fact, the visit of Rahul Gandhi, in fact, reflects, in fact, the divide within the community itself. Because as the bites were being played, we could see that some section of the community welcome him, some section of the community do not welcome him. And then there's also another concern which was raised, that if he goes by road, then there could be challenge, threat to security, etc. So if we look at the Rahul Gandhi visits of yesterday, there can be two perspectives. One perspective is from the hill people's perspective, and then the other one is the plain or Métis community perspective. So if we go by the Métis community perspective, one part is that maybe there is still a presumption that he needs to be humiliated. So therefore, in fact, when he arrived at the airport, he was not clearly told that by what means he should travel. So they were not clearly stating that he should travel by a chopper, but he can also have the option of traveling by road. And when he actually took the means of transport by road, then in fact his entourage was stopped at Bishnupur, and in fact the state police said that there is a security issues there. Another one could be that maybe to the political mind, or maybe to the idea of the state, there is now a presumption that maybe Rahul Gandhi is a force to reckon with, and maybe because of his successful Bharat Joro Andolan, and then therefore he does have lots of political traction within India and outside India. So therefore, maybe he is being taken more seriously, even though the bites would say that he's there only for the purpose of photo op or something. And then another concern could be that the state actually is apprehensive that he might bring about a certain change, because the people seem to look up to him, and then he does have a voice. From the Hill community context, he is most welcome, and in fact, the ITLF and other CSOs welcomed him. And one of the reasons could be that there is a family legacy of his grandmother and his father as well. Another one could be that they feel that Rahul Gandhi is more compassionate, and therefore he would be listening to their concern, and would be, in fact, be able to help and hear them. Because if you see the visuals that are available, women have, in fact, hugged him, and then cried and told him that he may be the only one who could be able to save them from this ongoing conflict. Another perspective in that continuation is that maybe there is a regard for him as a uniting factor and force.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go to Nabakishore ji. Nabakishore ji, Nabakishore, this is how do you view what happened yesterday? Rahul Gandhi first allowed to go up to Bishnupur, and then then his cavalcade was stopped. Then he got back to Imphal. Then he flew to Churachandpur to talk to the Cookie CSO leaders and visit the relief camps and all. And he was also denied, as the original stated plan was to go to Morang. Why was I mean how credible the threat is? Because the BJP said that the women folk didn't want him to be there, but later on when visual came, I mean the opposition was not that much. So why was his trip curtailed at the last moment?
थैंक यू ब्रिजेश जी बट द क्वेश्चन वो कैसे जाए उसको कैसे ना जाए पैदल से जाए गाड़ी से जाए हेलीकॉप्टर से जाए दिस इज ऑल द मैटर ऑफ द वहाँ पे जो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर क्या सिचुएशन है बट उनका मणिपुर में आना और वही नहीं है मैंने यही चीज बोला था जब ऑल पार्टी लीडर्स का मीट जब हुए हुए थे दिल्ली में मैंने यही बोला था मणिपुर का जो प्रॉब्लम है ये जस्ट मई 3 तारीख से अभी तक का वो स्टोरी जान के नो वन इज गोइंग टू सॉर्ट इट आउट मणिपुर का प्रॉब्लम पिछले 70-75 साल से जो क्या हो रहा था ये जानना जरूरी है और उसके पहले भी हो सके तो 2-3 हजार साल से मणिपुर में क्या था मणिपुर कैसे इंडिया में आया और मणिपुर आज कैसे है और मणिपुर आगे क्या रखना चाहिए क्योंकि मणिपुर जो है ये एक इंटरनेशनल बाउंड्री 390 किलोमीटर जिसमें हार्डली 10 किलोमीटर फेंसिंग है जो जियोपॉलिटिकल जो जो सिचुएशन है इस रीजन में आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग जस्ट अबाउट द इंडिया विद इन इंडिया जो नेबरिंग कंट्री जो जो सिचुएशन है ये कंप्लीट ध्यान में रखते all the political leaders, all party political leaders, they must have a honest and genuine एक intention लेकर अगर काम करेंगे, then they are only durable peace.
What happened, ma'am?
No, you please carry on. I would ask my PCR to tone down the NAT sound because it is disturbing the guests and all, and they feel that there's somebody who's doing a crosstalk. So please lower down the NAT sound when the guest is talking. Yes, Nabakishore ji, please go ahead.
Yes. So my view is, I definitely welcome Rahul Gandhi's visit in Manipur. Not only him, I want all the political leaders should think about, analyze, and also gather all the historical aspects as well as the transition of the kind of the Manipur today and also in the future with the dynamic change of the geopolitical situation in the region, keeping in mind that this is sharing a huge international border where other side is a disturbed land, and all these things has to be kept in the mind. So just it should not think about just to address the current violence. It is also important to think all the greater aspect. The perspective, it should not be something like that. The 20 years back मणिपुर में ऐसा था, वही जानकारी था और अचानक से आज आ गया, चलो क्या हुआ देखते हैं. No, the transition also should have been studied, and then only the thing will change. The thing will definitely change into positive. This is my view. वो कैसे आए, क्या गए, क्या नहीं गए, it does not matter to me. ये law and order का है. Yes, उनका safety जो है, उनका security safety, yes, that should be kept on the top priority.
Okay, that's very well put. That doesn't matter how he goes to Chura Chandpur or another, but normalcy must restrain. I would like to show our viewers the visuals, which looks like, you know, as if you are in some sort of a war zone. I mean, the visual which was being played just a minute before when Mr. Nabakishore ji was speaking, you know, there's a firing which is going on, you know, from both sides. These are the visuals. You know, it looks like as if you are in you're watching a pitched battle, gun battle which is going on, and you know, yes, this is the tear gas being shelled. These are the visuals from Imphal, and yesterday was also not a good day, if I may say so. Around 3 civilians have been killed and 4 injured in a fierce gun battle which happened yesterday. At least 2 civilians were killed, 4 sustained injuries in a fierce gun battle between suspected militants and village defense volunteers at Kotak, Ching Laikai, Sejam Chirang and Khurkul Mine Laikai in Imphal West District and in early hours of Thursday, which is yesterday, and clashes have erupted over Senjam Chirang's death. And apart from this, also the mob tried to vandalize BJP's office in Bishnupur district, where a large number of people, including youths, trying to storming the BJP office at around 4 p.m. and the mob resorted to pelting stones at the BJP office, causing damage, and they were denouncing the obstruction caused to Rahul Gandhi's visit to Chudachandpur, and why was he detained? I mean, these visuals are a telling testimony of what is happening in the state of Manipur. I would like to go back to I would like to go to Maj Gen Sanjay Meston. Sir, good morning and welcome to News9 Live. I would like to understand from you, sir, is because you have been a regular guest and our attempt to understand the security situation which is unfolding in the state of Manipur. Sir, I mean, irrespective of the numbers of the boot on the ground, the government has not been able to crack down or contain the law and order situation which is there. I'm not saying that there is a massive violence which is happening across the state, but there are sporadic incidents and nobody is able to contain that. And you saw the visuals, they were telling testimony of how things were happening. What exactly, according to you, sir, the state or the center should do to make sure that at least they have cracked down on the law and order and people who are out there creating mischief and not allowing the situation to become normal?
Brijesh, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Before I answer your question, there are 2-3 ground realities which we need to analyze as on date. One, who are suffering? It is the people of Manipur from both the ethnicities. That is a reality which none of us can deny. It is a common man which is suffering. For a common man to make a house, construct a house, to earn his daily living, to bring up his children, to buy even a small cycle or a scooter. I've been from such a family and I can well visualize how difficult it is. And today the common man is suffering so much. They have lost their family members, including people from the Indian Armed Forces. They have also lost their families. Their houses have been, razed to the ground, burnt. So many things are happening. So sometimes one feels that have we as a nation gone oblivious to their sufferings? And we are allowing this violence to continue unabated? And therefore you have actually asked a very pertinent question. Why this violence continues and why it is not being controlled? Now, firstly, I was just hearing some politicians, and I've been hearing so many politicians in our country every day of all political parties. This is a political problem, and most of the problems in our nation, whether it is partition of India or whether it is any problem in any state, it generates from politicians whose wordings, the language they use, can generate sparks of fire. I do not know why today politicians who are supposed to be leaders, politicians across all parties, who are supposed to be the leaders of the masses, they just use such, I would say, language which makes a lot of impact on people who are already suffering. And some politician will make a statement with one ethnicity will feel he is citing us, and the other politician will make a statement. So what I'm trying to say is that they are inflaming or putting the flames of this passion further. And till the time, Brijesh, the people, this political class in this country do not resort to maturity. And I now compare from the Indian Armed Forces. Have you seen any general, any colonel, any brigadier dealing with his jawans? After all, these jawans come from all walks of country, or from all parts of the country, including from Manipur. We have served with them. Have you ever used such filthy, unparliamentary language? Imagine if an officer starts using this kind of a language, what will be the morale of the people, the jawans? And therefore, I'm sorry being little very, what wording should I use? I'm trying to hit the conscience of people today.
I can understand.
Whether
Yes.
it's anyone, even some of the panelists, they're talking, let us go back into history of 3,000 years back. Can an issue be resolved by going into history of 3,000 years back? Today, we have so many ground realities. Today, let us accept there are certain facts. A lot of people say that so-and-so religion, they should be sent to so-and-so country. Is it possible in today's reality? So and so ethnicity, send them back to so and so country. Is it possible? Let's be very fair and free and frank. So we have got Tibetan refugees today. Can we send them back to Tibet? So there is no dearth of these kind of discussions. We have to start afresh. What is the ground reality? And politicians have to do the healing touch. And since day one, this problem has been going on. You keep hearing inflammatory speeches, fanning passions, and the people as it is are affected and they get carried away. The Indian partition is a live example. My mother was based in Peshawar, and she was just 7 years when the partition. They used to live so peacefully, people from two religions, and suddenly the flames of passion were set, and what's happened to the nation, and till date the effects continue. So, armed forces is such an institute where people can learn a lot of lessons from us. We don't inflame people's minds with,
No, no, I
dirty
I get what you're saying, sir. I completely agree with you.
Yeah, like
There,
even today, I was hearing one gentleman calling this visit Notanki and drama. I do not know whether we are watching it. You
no, that
common
that's
Indian
an
watches it.
unfortunate,
It makes
General Sanjay Meston. I completely agree with you. That's an unfortunate aspect of politics. You know, people who are in power forget how they behave and how they talk when they are in opposition.